Welcome.
Bonjour Nicolas.
Bonjour, bonjour monsieur. So, what is your name?
I am Reiner.
Reiner, okay.
Yes. My mother calls me Reiner.
Reiner.
Yes.
Renard for the French people?
For the French people, exactly.
Okay. Do you have maybe a nickname?
Yes, I do. Some of my friends call me Belgium, like in Belgium. Some of my friends call me Reiner.
Yeah.
Some of my friends call me Bo.
Okay.
Some of my friends call me Reiner.
Very nice.
Renier. Rainbow.
Rainbow.
Ryan, Rainbow.
Okay.
From Belgium.
From Belgium?
Leuven.
Where exactly?
Leuven.
Ah, Leuven.
And I studied in Brussels.
First question.
First and foremost, it's a big joint.
Okay.
And next to that, maybe a good party.
Okay.
And next to that, like anything actually. It can
Something
be anything.
hard, no?
Yeah, something well done.
Okay.
Yeah, all the way. I guess it's two things. Obstacles that I face, problems that I face that I don't want, for which I would like a sustainable solution.
Yeah.
And the sustainable solution also has to combine what I love to do, what I really like. I have, I think, quite a good idea of what I think is interesting, what interests me, what I like to do. I like to connect with people, meet people. I like to travel. I love to ride my motorcycle. And yeah, there are some things that I love to study, so I like to combine these things and hope to work and travel, be a digital nomad. For myself or for the world?
It could be both. We can start by yourself.
For myself?
Yeah. And
to be good, to be fulfilled, to surround myself with interesting people, with people I like, maybe I love. Yeah, there's so much actually, but
yeah.
I think and discovering new things. That I don't know. It triggers me. It gives me alert.
Yeah, curiosity.
Yes, I'm very curious.
Okay.
Very.
And about the world, so?
For the world, there's two things that I would really want.
Yeah.
First of all, clean water for everyone. That's something that definitely drives me. Also, everything that I study in the long run, I want to apply to water management, water purification, irrigation. Absolutely.
Okay, this is really a goal for you
Absolutely.
to add something.
Yes,
and
yes.
Okay.
This is the perfect field, I think, to apply knowledge management, to really get the full out of it. I think that's really where I can make a difference, because knowledge management in itself is worthless. So the question to me is, what am I gonna do with that? Where am I gonna make the difference?
Okay.
Yeah. And the other one is education. I think everybody deserves good education, and I think that even the best education systems out there need serious improvement. I studied in Belgium, in Flanders. And education is very high level there, for both high school as lower school as university colleges, like world-class quality. And still I see so many improvements.
Yeah.
I started traveling about a year ago. I have wanted to travel for as long as I remember. Always the thought of going to new countries, having adventure, it always appealed to me very much. It was always on top of my list. What they say in religions about pilgrimage, it's one of the few things in religion that really makes sense to me. It's a very wise thing actually, that everybody should do that. fairly young age to make a serious travel, and also get creative in how to get around with limited means. Become attentive to what you can use. So yeah, I started traveling first to France, to my mother in the south of France. She lives there. I stayed there for a month, and then I started hitchhiking. First
okay, so you started from France.
Yes.
And then?
So first Toulouse, Nice, then to Florence. And in Florence, I stayed with a Hare Krishna community for a month.
With?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna?
Yes.
What is it?
It's like a Hinduist, little bit Buddhist religion, you could say.
Yeah.
And they have devotees staying there in the temple.
Okay.
And
1 month?
Yes, 1 month I did this with them.
So
because a friend of mine was in this community.
Okay.
A good friend of mine from when I was young. So I was happy to visit him again.
Yeah,
he has a son. Then in Igumenica, and actually my last part from Calabria, I think, or even before Calabria, I figured I wanted to do this project.
Okay.
I call it Game of Assets.
Yeah.
It's a way to visualize your assets, your possibilities, your opportunities, what you're good at, for the purpose actually to elevate yourself.
Okay.
To create and see more opportunities and solve problems better. Because very often when you have a big project or challenge to tackle, then there can be so much to consider, and very often you overlook things, or you're not in the mood to overthink things. You have a lot of problems coming at you, and you just don't see it anymore because you're in stress, and your mind just wants to remember those other times you were in stress, and you're just seeing what you're that you're a piece of shit. You don't see the way to solve things anymore. So I was thinking, maybe if you see that in front of you, if you visualize that, that can actually be really empowering. So I started writing like the theoretical backbone for that in Italy, and when I arrived in Greece, I decided that I really wanted to do this project. I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna find a place to stay. I didn't have much budget anyway, so I was thinking about Workaway, really fully created. So I came to Alex here, to Megalopoli. It was the first place I went. Seemed very promising. I've been here first for 3 months, trying to combine my project and the project here. And frankly, that was very difficult because you leave so much energy at the end of the day to work for your project and so little time. So I wasn't going anywhere, and I was severely underestimating the scope, the size of the project.
And before the beginning of the trip, you already had the idea of creating something, or it's really went like this?
I completely let go.
And 3 months later, boom, idea that you wanted to put on.
Yes, I completely let go in the beginning of the trip. I was prepared to
travel,
and I didn't care. I just wanted to travel, to wander around and see what happens. It's in the small things. There's a lot. There's a lot that kind of fulfills me, I guess. Fulfills me, entertains me, makes me happy. One of the biggest ones is driving my motorcycle.
Okay.
It's a passion. It's a passion. Yeah. It's a passion, 100%. What I would really like is to do the rest of my travel on a motorcycle. That is really the goal for me.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's possible, no?
Yes. I just have to publish the book, make sure that I can sell it, that it sells me when I write articles, and that I can work what I really like to work. On the go. Make money as I go.
You told me that your purpose is maybe to be digital worker.
Nomads, yes, digital nomads, digital worker.
So with your ride, your PC and
Yes.
going there. Okay.
That's the dream, bro.
Okay.
That's the fucking dream.
Very nice.
Yeah. There is something not clear to me. That is what God is. Everybody I ask gives me a completely different answer, especially the people who claim that they know.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go to religious people, it's my favorite question: what is God? And then dig deeper. And it's so different each time that I have this question in my head, like, how can I believe in God if I don't even have a clue what it is? How can you believe in something that is as much as blah blah blah?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that is? Me, I don't. Me neither. I mean, it's like this whole vague world of mystique is created behind God, and frankly, you can say whatever the fuck you want, because you will never be able to prove it.
Mm.
Or maybe you could, and that's something that really interests me. Like, science is of this world, you know that. Religion is of this world, you know that too. So if they are both, they must be able to be reconciled. I mean, there must be common ground between science and religion. So I strongly believe in that. I believe in that there is one reality, and the only other realities are the ones that we have in our heads. So I think it's interesting. I mean, religions have a lot of wisdom in them too. I like to learn the best from it.
Yeah.
But they annoy me in many ways too, like curiosity as being doubt, and doubt being the worst thing there is on this planet, because imagine that you don't fully trust and believe our religion, and because of this fear that is created there, a lot of people follow these religions having no fucking clue what they're actually doing there, no idea what they're admiring, just some kind of idea that was put in their brain, or the first idea of God that they had ever, and then stick with that idea because they weren't allowed to overthink it. So yeah, maybe one day when I'm very old I might find a religion or find what's the truth or what's God, but I wouldn't say that I do now. So I guess in that sense I'm an agnostic. I do believe that people are in power. I do believe that we decide on our own destiny. I also believe that we are capable of making the world much more complex than it really is by social situations, you know, by creating a religion, stuff like this. Both. I see a lot of good and a lot of bad.
Okay.
And every action has a reaction, you know. Every time you see more bad, you see more good. Every time you see more good, you see more bad. It's like, it goes up and down. People, I guess, got so accustomed to having a good life that they take it so much for granted, that they maybe don't find it relevant anymore or something.
Yeah.
It's hard to say what's going on with all this hate in the world. I think it's worse than ever, well, that I know. If you see that people like Trump can get elected as president of the United States, that's fucking insane. I mean, what do you really want there? Do you just want to, you know, express hate for people, and is that really what gets you on? I guess for a lot of people these days, that's what ticks them. Yeah, look, oh yeah, you hate them too. Me too. We're such a nice group of hating other people. Yeah, that destroy some motherfuckers. But that's the hype right now. It's terrible, actually. But I also see a lot of anti-movement of people getting together to create things, to create a better world, and I like to give my attention to those people. They deserve it, absolutely. That's a very good question.
Because you stayed, how much time it's all?
First 3 months and a half. Then another week and a half with my mother.
Okay.
So we did a road trip together. And now I'm back I've been here now 2 weeks. Maybe I'll do another 2 weeks. So, yeah, very special experience.
Yeah.
Very special experience. Alex is a very special man. Pan is a very special man. Paco is a very special guy. Very inspiring.
Yeah.
You can imagine that this place has attracted a lot of other very inspiring people, very special people. A lot of synchronicities going on in this place too. A lot of things come together just when you need them. It's even called more serendipity. It's not just it's not just synchronicity. It's like everything just falls in place just in the right time, all the time.
Okay.
It's weird magic that's happening here. Yeah. And there's a lot to do here for the Workawayers too. So, there's a lot of space for people to come and work. So you meet a lot of people in general.
Yeah.
And very often the real special ones, they stay for a bit longer here to make things extra interesting. What I think of him?
Yeah. What about? What are your emotion with him?
He's my sugar. What can I say? He's my sugar. I enjoy him a lot. He's a very good friend. He has some very interesting stories.
Yeah.
He's a very, very intelligent man. He always talks about how he's good at sculpting. That used to be his profession. And he talks down on many other arts, but I've never seen him sculpt, I've never seen any of his sculptures. But I know that he's incredible with poetry, with words, I know that he can paint. I mean, so I wonder if he's so good in all these other arts. How fucking good must he be in sculpting? That's really a question that's going through my mind. And he doesn't show that. I bet he's never gonna show it. He likes to be mystique, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's hard to say. So I guess that really defines him a bit. He's very mystique. So soon his boat is gonna be ready too. He's building a big boat. He wants to sail very far. So I'm very curious about that. I think I want to spend some time on that boat too when it's ready. Yeah. Don't wait until you have enough money, because you're gonna wait for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't think you're gonna do any travel in the end if you wait for money. And it's a very, very cool challenge anyway, to just set out with limited money, with limited means, and just, see what happens. Be creative in getting by. That's actually the biggest part of the fun of it, I think.
Okay.
It's maybe a bit like scary in the beginning, but once you have a little traveling experience, then it gets really fun actually.
Easy and fun.
It gets easy and fun. Yeah, you know where to go after a while too, how to get things done from people, and but in a honest way, in a sharing way.
Okay.
You offer anything you have, from skills to knowledge to, you have two hands. Help out. Also, when you are with a couch surfer, do his dishes, clean his house a little, do a few things. Ask him what you can maybe help him with, or search maybe for something that you're good at and that he needs, something he's not that good at as you. So help out a little. Get off your ass and don't be so lazy. No, that's you asked for a stereotype, right? I don't believe in the stereotype. I know. I've been in France a lot, and I believe that everything has two sides of the coin too. Everything is perspective, and if you look at it from a French perspective, it's just living the good life, and it's their full right. Être bon vivant, it's something you all should at least try to get. So it's maybe from like a German perspective, So I had to take the the stereotype from somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's okay, it's okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
So bon vivant,
Bon
slowly,
vivant but
slowly.
lazy. Or bon
It's
vivant
another way
and
of
lazy.
defining it, maybe.
Yeah.
It's another way of looking at it.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing, I know,
Mm.
but you can look at the same thing and define it in different ways, just because of your own ignorance.
Okay.
That's where stereotypes come from anyway, so yeah. There's a book that really inspired me in many ways. It's called Getting Things Done from David Allen. And I don't know, you know, I've been grown up in a world full of life coaches and, you know, life hackers trying to, you know, play life a little smarter or give people guidance when they need it, when they don't see it anymore.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of, you know, you have to really believe in it. You have to, you know, you have to persist, and which is true. But the way it's done very often, I think it's too superficial. So I really like this hands-on, apply it and it works. You don't have to believe in it. Fuck it, it's gonna work because it's based on principles of psychology. It apply it and it works. It's that simple. No bullshit. I'm very inspired by this, also for my own book. I want that. I want to make a difference, but in a way that I know that it will. I don't have to rely on the will of the people. I mean, if you read it, you'll get it out of there. If you do it, you'll get out 10 times as much. And in this whole process, it doesn't matter how much you believe in it. Or, yeah, after, how do I say that? Because another thing that they always want you to do is to get this discipline. And in order to get discipline, change your behavior in so many ways. Change your behavior for this, change my behavior for that. I hate that. I completely hate that. I mean, what if you didn't need to do that at all? What if you're perfect as you are and get even more perfect by not bothering that much, but focusing on small things, you know? And don't try to change your behavior. Just try to do things a little smarter. Apply some small tools here and there, and things will get easier, and this will maybe over the long term change your behavior, but without stress, without obligations. And yeah, I believe much more in that. Lord of the Rings.
Perfect.
Absolutely. So, Game of Assets basically solves a few problems, let's say. One of the problems that it solves is, you know, when you play a game of chess, imagine that you have to play a game of chess without looking at the board. That's pretty fucking difficult, isn't it? That's
Depends for me.
close your eyes and then, you know, c2 to c3 and play a whole game like that. It's very difficult. So one of the things it does, it's actually it takes all of the elements that are relevant to overcoming obstacles and to overcoming challenges and achieving goals, as in the sense of finishing tasks and finishing projects. It puts it outside of you, so you visualize it in one overview in a way that makes sense to you. And if you zoom in, you will get more details on it. So these details can help you to improve, or very often, like, solutions lay in small details. So you have it there. Also, when you're having a bad time, or when your mind isn't really, you know, working properly, or you're tired, you know, it's just there. One of the limits your brain also has is you can only hold like about 7 pieces of thought at the same time, and even for only 20-30 seconds. So it's very hard to kind of strategize or plan through your best next steps in life, that would be, or in specific projects. I mean, you can see it from many different levels. If you don't have it in front of you, because there's so much to take into account. So what I really try to do is to sustainably and over time map your best assets, your skills and knowledge, your best characteristic traits, your talents, your resources and your environment. And when you map these and you look at your challenges and you break down these challenges into more manageable challenges and projects that are, well, if you compare these, it's all there. So the thinking process of finding solutions and getting over with these things and getting what you want really in the end gets much easier. And also, like I said, it's about getting what you want in the end. So there's a big section of the book that gets that out of you. So I work with a lot of thinking triggers. Actually, the whole book and the whole game is one big thinking trigger. It's actually thinking about things in a certain order with the right questions at the right time, that every time you get an answer that allows you to answer the next question, that allows you to answer the next question. By doing so, you start thinking, you start seeing assets, you start seeing possibilities, opportunities. And also it grounds you at the same time. When you just have a new idea for a project and you just have a new girlfriend and everything goes at the same time, you're super euphoric and you see so well what you're good at, but you don't see your obstacles because you're in that euphoric state of mind and you just get all these memories from all the times that you were in a euphoric state of mind, so you only see the good. So then having mapped your obstacles and your challenges is actually very grounding. You get confronted with the reality that you're kind of having out of sight in that moment. And the same for when you're low. You're only seeing those obstacles, but you're not that you really need to see in that moment. That's your assets. So in a sense, you leverage the times that you're euphoric for the times when you're down, and for the times when you're down, you see more obstacles. You leverage that time for when you're euphoric. You can see more obstacles and solve more obstacles.
And then you improve.
Exactly. So there is, for every state of mind, there is something that you can really, something very valuable that you can add. And there's no bad moods in the end anymore, because there is value in each mood. If you understand what I mean.
Okay, yeah.
For coming with ideas and solving problems.
Get some output of it.
Exactly.
If you take a bit of a step aside.
Yes.
Behind.
Yes.
Side.
So it leverages your brain in many ways. So with the thinking triggers and with actually being an extra to your memory, like an external memory. That you have in one point of view. So this is like one of the most important aspects. And then another one is to improve. I have a lot of insight in knowledge management because I studied it so long and I worked in it, and I'm still studying it a lot actually. So how to actually upgrade your assets and find the assets that you really need to solve a problem, to overcome an obstacle, and how to see more alternatives. Very often you're looking in the wrong direction. And like for example with the 4 fields, knowledge, characteristic traits, resources and environment, I will trigger you to look in every direction. And I give a lot of examples, I give an overview of what can actually be within those categories. And that is the whole world, kind of. I mean, anything can be an asset in the end. But the real question is, what is relevant? What is relevant right now? And that's why I have this balance between challenges and your assets. That's why it's a game. To create relevance in your assets is by actually comparing it with your challenges and your obstacles. And there you will see what assets are really important right now, what is really relevant right now, and that's what you're going to put in there. And also what you're good at, of course. You know, if you have a lot of money, it's a big asset. If you have a big talent, that's a big asset. You know, you will just know.
Every game is different, like every person.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. So for each person is different, and then through time it changes too. Yes.
So yeah, it's flexible. The game will adapt itself to the person.
Yes.
Okay, so you don't have a release date for viewers who want this game, and okay.
No can do.
But
I'll try my best to do it within 2 months. Not for you, for myself. But I cannot guarantee anything. I mean,
for the sake of your brain, you have to finish.
Exactly, and also because I want to start traveling again. You know, I want to be on that motorcycle. That's what I really want.
Yeah.
So the faster I get over with this, the better.
Okay.
But siga, you know.
Siga.
Let's enjoy. Make sure that the quality of the book is high. That's priority number one. I'm not gonna rush anything because I want to get over with it. I want it to be good.
Okay.
Really good. So I needed to give some time.
Will Flemish and Wallons go along together one day?
I think so. When they're no longer in each other's hairs.
Okay.
I have some options.
Okay.
I haven't planned anything. I mean, maybe in 2 weeks I will go to Egina to visit an amazing school, School of All Relations. They have their open days then. So, I mean, if you're around Athens, very amazing. School of Relations would be it.
School of Relations.
Of All Relations. School of All Relations, yes.
Okay.
This is fascinating. But after, a good question. So I guess if I don't finish the book in time and kind of overstay my welcome here, I think I will go to Igoumenitsa. It's the only place I haven't been yet. Hire something, rent something for like a month or two, and really make sure the book gets done. Like, you know, and also do everything there. Then like until marketing and publish, and then make sure that everything is set for after publish. That I can, that I can use it to attract publishers to write for, as in articles. So magazines, online publishers. Medium is an amazing online platform for this too, that I really want to write for. And then I have so much options in front of me after. I can go through Turkey to Iran, if it's possible, to India, and then do all Asia. Or I could go to Moscow, take the Trans-Siberian Express, go to China, and then from that direction the whole of Asia. Or I could take the plane to like Thailand, have some fun in Thailand, and from there do it all. I wouldn't do China in that case. So, also end up, I think it always ends up in India or something. And then I want to make sure that by that time I've gathered enough money with my projects while I travel to make the step to South Africa. And then I want to do it all again through Africa, on the motorcycle. But I will have to, in that whole period of time, I will need to find a companion first of all. I'm not going to cross Africa on my own. I think that's absolutely insane. But I know already it's possible. I've actually planned out most of the things for it. But I think I mostly need the means now to do it, and also the experience. I think I need quite some traveling experience. Okay, so that's why you select to go through Europe, and then maybe... It's kind of from easy to harder. Okay. Yeah. So you did Game of Assets to select that, or...? No. But I could have. But you could have. Okay, thank you, man. Thank you very much. Nicola, thank you for the interview. Thank you so much.